Hey, hello. How are you doing, man? On the Rebel 11. Never seen you before here. Shaolin DNV. Hello. How are you guys? How is the video audio? Please let me know. Okay, finally you were able to make it. Good. Nice to see you here. Where are you from? Video audio good. Okay. Richard, nice to see you, Richard. How was the trip? We miss you for 2 streams. Lovely time and sun. Lucky you. We have 3 degrees here in Varna and raining today and tomorrow. Murat Ozer, first time catching you live. Hi from Turkey. Hello, Murat. Hello. Nice to see you here. Guys, as you know, today is open discussion. Any question that you might have on the topic motorcycle trips, motorcycle travel, feel free to ask me. On the road, on the Rebel 11, I'm from Virginia. The states of the time difference is stuff. Okay. So it is early morning with you, I guess. Nice to see you here. I hope that you'll find some useful information. The same to all of you. Once again, if you have any questions, go ahead. Now is the moment. 1 p.m. Okay. 1 p.m., 8 hours difference, 7 hours difference. So you are from the East Coast. Okay. 7 hours. All right. Pin lock or polish visor? Pin lock. Pin lock always works better. If you mean to polish the visor with some kind of synthetic materials, that some synthetic coat that you can have on the top, pin lock will always work, and this polish will work for probably a couple of days, maybe weeks, but it's not the same. Pin lock will work much better, and if you install it properly, it will work probably for not less than a year. If you're riding a lot in dusty conditions, it might fill with dust on some stage when it's get old, when it's a little bit not so properly sealed, but usually they last like a year. Yaros. Hello, Yaros. How are you today? Yaros from Greece. Was from Greece, yeah? Any tips of cleaning a pin lock? No, I don't have any tips of cleaning the pin lock. I think that once you removed it, it's not that you cannot remove it and clean it and put it back again, but once it's get dirty, that is mean it's not sealed properly to the visor, which is mean that even if you clean it, it will get dusty once again. From Cyprus, sorry, I forgot, from Cyprus, the Greek part of Cyprus. So you cannot really clean the pin lock. They are not that expensive. On my helmet, my O'Neill helmet that I've got, the pin lock that it came, the helmet with, was not really good, a really small size, and get clogged with dust for a couple of months. And after that, I bought very cheap Chinese pin lock, universal pin lock from AliExpress, and it is on my helmet already a year. And I went to Magadan with it, with all of the dust and mud that I've got there, and it's still working properly. And now I have another one made in China that I'm gonna install before I go to South America. So they really work well. Richard, what is the best way to keep soft luggage secure? Do you use something like PackSafe? I have heard a lot about these PackSafe meshes. They will definitely work fine. I never used it, Richard. I'm really sorry about it. In my opinion, if you go to a really risky place, this PackSafe won't help you much. And yeah, it might help someone to cut your luggage and try to get something from inside. But if they come come with properly equipped with cutters or just a small cutters, they will cut it very easy. But it might prevent some problems here and there. On the Rebel, the audio started cracking. Nothing I can do about it. It's from internet connection. It could be mine, it could be yours. The rest of the guys, how is the audio and video? Is there any problem at the moment? The microphone is fine, connection is fine, my internet is fine. Let me check it here. A bit crackly, no worries. Let me check the speed. I can lower the microphone a little bit to see how it is. How it is now? Microphone test 1 2 3 4. Microphone test 1 2 3 4. Guys, there is some glitch in the audio. The same, okay. Does mean all right. I'm really sorry about it, guys. Let me check. It looks like the internet speed is not that bad. A little lower than usual, but nothing I can do about it. I live around 22 kilometers away from the town, and my internet is through a SIM card, so it is what it is. Salvador de Elia, hola desde Honduras, looking forward to your South America trip. Glitch in the audio. Sorry about it, guys. I hope it will be all right after a few minutes. We can still understand me. All right. Nothing I can do about it, as I said. I hope it will be all right after a few minutes. Anyway, guys, I'm ready for questions. Go ahead. Today's open discussion, mostly questions from you. Anything on topic motorcycle travel, any ideas, any question or any information that you can add. Tenere Traveler Richard, single or twin cylinder? Single or twin cylinder? Well, depends on the preferences. I don't mind to ride single and 2 cylinders. For me, there is no difference, but I don't ride fast. I don't have passenger. I don't spend much time on the highways. If you plan to have a lot of highways miles, and if you have a passenger, if you want to twist more than 120, 30 kilometers per hour, you will be way better with 2 cylinders. But if you travel alone, if you don't ride fast, if you always look for as low as possible weight on the motorcycle, then the single cylinder will be a better option. Yaros, what is your solution to carrying keys? Do you keep the keys separate? Do you have all the keys together? Well, some people carry the keys on the leash here on the neck. I just put it on my pocket every time when I leave the motorcycle. I always keep everything on my jacket in the same location. So, for example, my wallet is in this pocket, my telephone is on the right pocket, my motorcycle keys are here on the front right pocket, and I zip it usually. It is always the same. And I never lost a key, even though I always got a spare with me. This is very important to have a spare key with you. But I don't have a specific back or brace, or I never separate the keys. On my chain with the key of the motorcycle, I also have the key to the disc lock and one key to the cable lock that I have on the back. 3 keys all together. They always stay in my pocket. I don't have a specific place to keep them. Okay. On the road, Rebel 11. Pavlin, I know you always travel with a multi-tool. Do the police or immigration at border give you problems because of that knife? No, they never even never even had any problems with the multi-tool. I also have a knife that I carry in my tank bag, just a small knife like that, and also never got any problems. They never bother us, because with the motorcycle you're a little bit more in danger, if I can say it this way. So people, border officers and police, they understand. And also a knife could be used for many things, to cut a foot or to cut the cables if you have some electric problems on the motorcycles. So that's why I never got a problem with the knife that I have in the motorcycle. Never ever, on any border. Nomad, nice to see you again. Richard, 10-year traveler, is the main stand worth penalty of the extra weight? Absolutely. The center stand is something that I always have on my motorcycles, and it's worth any kilogram that you can add on. My center stand now at the moment, it's around 3.5 kilograms, almost 4 kilograms. But because it is on the lower position on my motorcycle, it does not make any difference, but it's a significant difference in your riding comfort. For example, every night when I stop riding, I put the motorcycle on the center stand and I just spray the chain. If you don't have a center stand, it's going to be very difficult for you to spray your chain. You'll have to play some kind of different acrobatic tricks just to be able to spray the chain. Also, every time when I load or unload my motorcycle, I put it on the center stand, because it stays completely straight and I can load it properly and split the luggage properly, not on right on or left side, if you understand what I mean. So definitely worth it. If you don't have it on your Himalayan, I will recommend to have one, and it is very useful, especially when you have a flat tire. When you have a flat tire, it is priceless. I know that you can support it with a different stick and have it, but with the center stand is way more stable, especially for the rear tire. If you have the front tire flat, usually the motorcycle stays on the front tire, but you can easily put a stone under your bush plate and lift it, and it will stay very stable. So center stand, it's a must for me. Yaros, I love my center stand. Me too. It's standard. Okay, wonderful. So you have it already. Great that Himalayan added. On Yamaha, you have to buy it, and it's not cheap, by the way. The Yamaha OM center stand is like 300 euros. It's expensive. So I bought mine from a Romanian company, Heavy Duties, and it was something like 80-90 euros, something like that. So it was very cheap option. By the way, is the audio improved or is it the same, still the same? Nomad, what is your opinion on the standard battery that comes with the Tenere to a lithium-ion battery? I prefer the standard battery. I think that they will last longer. They are more efficient in hot and cold days. Yes, they are heavier. They will be definitely probably around 2 or 3 kilograms heavier than the small lithium battery. But in very hot days and very cold days, they will definitely store the power much better. They are more efficient and they last longer. The original battery on my old Tenere lasted 12 years. And in all of my motorcycles, I've got like at least 7-8 years, maybe 10 years with the batteries. So I will definitely bet on the standard battery, but they don't have it anymore. On the Teneres after mine to 2022, 2023, and the new model, they comes with a small lithium battery. So nothing we can do about it, but I will always prefer the old model. On the Road 11, your tip to run a second clutch cable saves Robert from Nomad Sweden and the Luis Enduro and yeah, I'm glad that it works. I know this from my personal experience. It's very nice nice thing to save a lot of time, and it costs you almost nothing to have this feature on your motorcycle or this extra on your motorcycle. And I'm glad that Robert did it. Robert did understood the value of this modification. Tenere traveler, what is the smallest tank capacity you will travel with? Now in South America, Richard, I'm gonna travel with 13 liters, 13 liters. The Honda that I've got is with 13.5 liters or something like that, but the motorcycle is only 300 cc. It's a very economical, so I believe that I'm gonna have almost like a 300 kilometers from this tank, and it's not a problem to carry a tank, a petrol can with me when I need it. So the smallest tank that I travel or I will travel is this Honda now with 13 liters. Himalayan that I used in India was with 15 liters, 1.5, and the Benelli that I used in Pakistan, I think, was with 18 liters. The Chinese motorcycle that I used in Bangladesh was something like 15 liters. So this Honda will be with the smallest one. Okay. It's like the wind, the sound. It must be from internet connection. As I said, guys, nothing I can do at the moment. Sometimes just shit happens. Richard, good question on the battery choice. Do you carry jump leads or boosters? I always had boosters cables. Well, older portable boosters only work with old style batteries. Yes, it's correct. The booster only works with old style batteries. The lithium-ion batteries are a little bit more complicated. You can burn them really easy. I used to have a cables, boost cables on my motorcycle, on my old Tenere, even connected to the battery stage, so I don't need to connect and disconnect all the time. I plan to buy a new one and install that on my new Tenere as well. So it's a good option to have with you, not only about you, but you can help also on your riding buddies when you're on the road. And I did it a few times, by the way, but it's a good option. These boosters, they are a good option. They also will provide you necessary power if you need it. You can use them as a power bank. So they might be a good option to have it with you, yes. Let me lower it down the microphone a bit. Maybe it will be better now. Something like that. Okay. On the Rebel 11, if your trip is longer than expected, will Plamen be able to stay with you an extra for a few weeks? Well, Plamen will have no choice. Of course he will stay. This is what we agreed together, that we plan this 3 months, but if we need to stay a little bit more, like a week or two, of course we're going to do it, because we would like to complete the goal that we have. So no problem for Plamen or for me to stay a little bit longer. I hope that the money will be enough, but we'll see. We'll see how it's going. But yes, if it's necessary, we'll stay longer. Murat, what do you think about... Okay, just a second. Richard, how do you tackle water crossings? Water crossings are not that bad to handle. What you need to do is that once you're in the water, you have to keep some kind of balance. Usually, the best way is to stand on the pegs, try to find the best trajectory to cross the water. Usually, it's in the middle of the water, not on the right side, not on the left side, unless you have a river. When you have a river, not just a big pond on the road. When you have a river, it's a different story. When you have a river, I always go there slowly, stop on the edge, try to see what is the best option to get through the river. If it's necessary, I'll use a wooden stick to see how deep it is, and then I can cross it. And once you're in the river already, use first gear, if possible. If it's not that bad, you can go on second, but use first gear and with a lot of gas. Just twist the throttle, because the throttle is what keeps you straight. And if you have some big stones underneath, the throttle will get you out of from there. But basically, this is the situation. You have to do it once or twice, and after that, it's not that bad. Of course, always keep in mind the level of the water. If it's higher than your airbox filter, don't go there. But it's not that bad. It just requires a little bit of practice. But definitely check the level first. And as I said, if it's a big, like let's say a round spot on the road, and always try to go in the middle, because if you go to the edges are usually like that, and you can easily slide. But in the middle, it's more stable to cross and go. Murat, what do you think about the tire sealant gels for tube tires especially? I never tried, Murat. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know. Do they work or not? I don't have my personal experience. I have heard some people saying that they really work. but I never tried, so I cannot discuss it. Yaros, with the top case, do you think it's a good idea to have 6-liter toolbox mounted on the opposite side of the exhaust like a very small pannier to off-road case and move the heavy tools well? With the top case will stay on the top of your motorcycle, but if you have 6-liter toolbox mounted on the opposite side of the exhaust like a very small pannier to off-road the case and move the heavy tools lower. Well, Yaros, in any situation, if you plan to have some off-road trips, I will recommend to go without the top box. If you have a toolbox, 6-liter toolbox, that maybe it's a good idea to be on the other side of the exhaust, yes, just to split the weight properly. But forget about the top box if you plan some kind of off-road trips, because sooner or later it will break. It will create a lot of tension on the tail of your motorcycle. It's not gonna be fun when you ride it, but also you can break it, and when you break it, all the stuff that you have inside will be pointless, and you won't be able to take it with you. I hope that this answers your question. Nomad, I understand you do not prefer to use any auxiliary lights at all. In my opinion, the tenere brake light is smaller visible in bad weather. I'm thinking about getting brake-free helmet lights. Nomad, I think that the tenere brake light is pretty much very good visible. It's very good light. I like it very much. It is very well visible. Even the stop light, even just the normal light. But when you press the brakes, it's even lighter. So I don't see any reason to have an additional light, especially on the helmet. Yeah, it will provide more visibility for those people behind you. It will definitely help you to improve visibility, but I don't see any problem with the tail light of the tenere. About the auxiliary lights, I don't think that I will never put any auxiliary lights on my motorcycles. I just don't need them. I don't ride in the dark. Even if I have to ride in the dark for some situation, let's say I get late. It happens many times. I just slow down, ride slowly, and I'm all right. I don't need auxiliary lights because these are additional cables, fuses, and more things to add to the electric system, and to compromise actually the electric system, the battery, the alternator, and so many things like that. And I don't want to play this game. On the Rebel 11, how much will be the total daily expenses for you and plumber on average, including food, fuel, hotels, and entertainment? I cannot really say exactly right now, but an estimate price will be around $50-60 per day. This is what I think it will be just a fair price to travel around South America. And for everything, for food, for petrol, and accommodation. For example, the petrol in Venezuela at the moment is 3 cents per liter. 3 cents per liter. 3 cents per liter. So basically, with $1, you will have 2 petrol tanks. The food is also very cheap. The most expensive petrol is in Chile, $1.80 per liter at the moment. So I do believe that with this budget, $50-60 per day will be all right. The hotels are usually around $10. You can eat really well for $5. So I do believe that $50-60 per day will be a fair price. Okay. Richard, I used bike seal on my tires. It was originally used to astronauts to seal those space suits. Then the Secret Service in their tires to get your hotel, but it still carried tubes to change over. Okay, thank you for sharing this experience, Richard. I never heard about it. I will check it. I'll definitely check it. On many of my trips, I carried the foam that is sold for sealing the tubeless tires, and I was thinking that in the case I have a small hole on my tube, I can fill it with this, and it will probably work. But I never tested on real, so I cannot say. Yaros, how do you battle fatigue from riding for many kilometers every day? Do you feel like you are losing focus after many miles on straight roads? Yaros, listen, I always try to split my energy and power during the days. I usually start very early as possible. Now on my trip to Magadan, I was starting almost every morning, like 6, 7 o'clock, sometimes even earlier, which is mean that until later afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was already in the hotel that I planned to stay for the night. And from 3, 4 in the afternoon until next morning, I had plenty of time to recover. So I never really feel so exhausted, out of energy, or I never feel it so bad. The kilometers are nothing when you split it properly. And also, I don't know, I don't get tired that badly. Maybe because my ass already get used to it. I also, every time when I have to ride slowly, when I'm crossing a village or slow section, I stand on the pegs. And when you stand on the pegs, when you stretch your legs, the blood starts to circulate around your legs, around your boots. And after that, I can sit again. So every time when I get tired from sitting, I just stand on the pegs, then stand for a couple of minutes, then sit again, and try to stop every 2 hours or 1 hour, whatever you need, just to stretch my legs too, and I'm all right. I don't have problem with this riding for many days and many kilometers. Nothing at all. Richard, how many miles a day on a long trip? Depend on the trip, Richard. Now on my trip to Magadan last year, I've got like 450 kilometers per day. This was the total. When I have the total mileage 39,000 kilometers and I split it to 90 days, it became 450 kilometers per day. On some days I have more, on some days I had less, but the average was 450 kilometers per day. But if you need to ride only on the highways, 500 kilometers on the highways means 5 hours. It's not that bad at all. But if you're on the dirt roads for 12 hours, you might be able to cover maximum 300 kilometers. So it depends on the terrain. Nomad, can you suggest an affordable alternative to Moscow Moto Reckless 40? Yes, I can. And the brand is 21 Brothers. They have the saddlebag that I use is Horseshoe. And also they have saddlebags, different saddlebags, and they are twice as cheaper than Moscow Moto. Also, you can check Enduristan. They are also much cheaper than Moscow Moto. Yes, the quality is not going to be the same, but they will be much cheaper. Richard, itinerary traveler, meals, how many times to eat per day? I usually don't have breakfast. I'm not hungry when I wake up. I usually eat a little bit later. So if I start riding 6 or 7 o'clock, I'm not going to eat before 10 or 11, sometimes even lunchtime. And on the road, I don't eat really serious food. Usually I try to eat like a scrambled eggs or pouch eggs, something like that. And then later in the evening, when I stop, when I'm already finished the day, I can have a good dinner with meat or something more serious. But let's say twice per day I eat on the road. Yaros, check out the bags from 21 Brothers, very affordable. Yes, I said it already. Check 21 Brothers bags, very good choice for me. This is the best bag that I ever had. I'm not gonna change it at all. I had them since 2017, already 7 years, and I don't want to change it with anything else. I like the idea of Moscow Reckless bags, but they're too complicated, too many straps, too many pockets, too many things. I don't need this for my luggage. I like very much their tank bag because I can separate everything, but I don't need all of this in my saddlebag. On the Rebel 11, how much will cost you to buy a rear shock for the new bike in Colombia? Maybe the community can pitch you to get one easy to install and remove after the trip. I don't know how much it will cost me. I don't know. I hope that the shock that a motorcycle have will last. I don't have any plans to change it right now, even though I understand that not only the shock, but also the forks will be too soft for me. But it is what it is. I'm going to ride it as it is. If I break it, of course, I'm going to change it. But how much it will cost, I don't know. Tenere traveler, I haven't been high enough myself, but apparently Viagra helps altitude sickness if you'll be doing pretty high. Okay. I'm all right with altitude. I already been to 4,500 meters, 5,600 meters. I've been a few times to high elevation passes. So I am aware what I have to, what I will deal there. I know how to acclimatize myself without pushing so hard and fast to get to the main point. So I'll be all right. But thanks for the advice. Yeah, okay. Good advice, Richard. Thank you. Good conversation, guys. Good questions, important questions. Thank you very much for coming and adding all of this. Always keep in mind that these questions and these answers might help to many people that will watch the stream after that. It's not only me and you now at the moment, but many people that might watch the stream. Is it the audio the same, crappy, or it's improved a bit? Tenere Travel, Suzuki have introduced the new DR400. It's still relevant today's world of front and all the updates are. I saw this Suzuki the other day. A friend of mine pointed to me. It looks good on paper. It's probably a good motorcycle. I haven't seen it on real. And yeah, I'm going to discuss it when I see it, when I have more information about it. On the Rebel 11, will the bike have new chain and sprockets when you pick it up? I don't know, probably not. But if necessary, I'm going to change them before I go. If they are in good condition, I will go as it is, and I'm gonna change them somewhere on the road when it's necessary. This is the most popular motorcycle in South America, and it's made in Brazil, so I can find spare parts almost everywhere, or this is what I have been told. Yaros, what non-alcoholic drinks do you enjoy? Do you think clean water is the best hydration option on the go? Listen, water, it's a good source of hydration, but it could be very dangerous if you ride in very hot areas, because when you ride in hot areas, you tend to drink a lot of water. If it's really hot day over 40 degrees, you'll drink more than 5, 6, 7 liters water per day, and you're not gonna pee at all. But instead of hydrate yourself, you're gonna dehydrate yourself, and you're gonna deplete yourself from all of the important minerals. And this is not really good idea. You can hydrate yourself with the water, but the minerals that you're gonna lose, like sodium, potassium, and all of this, will be a problem. Believe it or not, but one of the best sources to refuel all of this sodium, potassium, and all of these electrolytes is a beer. One beer per day will bring a lot of these elements back very quickly. And of course, pinch of salt will help if you start to feel some dizziness or stuff like that during all of this drinking water all the time. Pinch of salt or some salty dishes will cure the things. And of course, if you eat properly, you're not going to have these mineral imbalances. But any other drinks like Coke or coffee, they're going to make the things even worse. This is what I believe. Orange juice, if you can have here and there, will help. The best drink that will restore all of your electrolytes very fast, immediately, and 100% sure, this is a coconut water. If you have the chance to drink coconut water, it has everything inside. This is the best source of hydration, and also to rebuild all of the electrolytes that you can lose during these hot days. Okay, Murat Uzer, the audio is the same, but quite understandable. No worries. Sorry about it. Sorry. On the road, Rebel 11, did you find a bike for plumbing yet? Yes, we found it 2 days ago. We found a motorcycle. It is already in Cali, Colombia, waiting for us. So both of our motorcycles are there and waiting. We're gonna have exactly the same motorcycles, Honda XRE 300cc, exactly the same colors, by the way. So yes, we have a motorcycle for plumbing yet. Tenere Travel, are there any foods you particularly avoid or seek out to stay healthy on the road? I usually try to stay away from things that are deeply fried on the road, because Firstly, all of these oils they are not really good for your health, but on the road, these deeply fried foods, they never really clean the pan properly, so they fried a lot of foods with this the same oil day after day. So I try to avoid it because this is the easiest way to get diarrhea, especially outside of Europe, especially in Asia, because they cooked with different oils. I always try to eat as simple as possible. As I said already, scrambled eggs or just poached eggs works fine for me. And try to avoid deeply fried things. Fish and even meat, I prefer to have something baked instead of fried. Richard, do you use heavy duty or standard inner tubes? I used to have always inner duty. I used to have always heavy duty tubes, and I do believe that they can prevent many problems on the road. If you start with fresh tires and fresh tubes, heavy duty tubes, you might prevent a lot of problems on the road. They cannot prevent puncture. If something penetrates the tire, they will definitely be penetrated. But they last longer because usually when the tube is for many kilometers inside of the tire, it has some kind of friction. And these heavy duty tubes, they last longer. It's not going to be destroyed because of this friction. But if you have a flat tire, it is way more difficult to change the heavy duty tubes than the standard tubes. And I also never have on my luggage as a spare tubes. I never have heavy duty tubes because they are just too big on size. So as a spare, I always have a normal tubes because the size of the normal tubes is like that. Heavy duty tubes are just like that, like twice as bigger and twice as heavier. Good option, but if you need to change it on the road, it's a problem. Now on my way to Magadan, I had a meters 09 front tire, very tough, very hard front tire, and inside I had a heavy duty tube. And to change it on the road took me 1 hour and 30 minutes. Usually I do it for 20 minutes, just to have an idea how difficult it is. Julio Balmas, first time here, nice to see you. Hello to you and all from Greece. Which were your top 3 bikes for the EICMA 2024? To be honest, I did not even check it. I don't have any personal interest to buy a new bikes now. So I will probably disappoint you, but I haven't seen even any videos from EICMA. I haven't checked any websites and not even information at all. So I cannot say anything on that topic. Sorry, Julio or Julio, whatever you comes from. Could it be Kobe 800 Rally? Could be a unicorn if reliable? Could be. I never seen it on person. I think we have to give it at least a few years real test with real people, real riders that gonna use it, and then we can discuss it. But there is no one universal or magic motorcycle that will cover all the points and will be reliable and will click all the boxes. I don't think that it's even possible. But because I'm not on the market to search for new motorcycle, I did not even check EICMA. Richard, do you still think that ExoTalk jacket is the best way to remain warm in cold riding? ExoTalk jacket, by the way, it's a good option, but I don't use it anymore because it's another one thing in the luggage that I don't want to have with me. It's definitely it's definitely help you to stay warm. Definitely, I can bet on it. But I said it's another one thing that I have to carry with me, and because it's a synthetic material, it will be a very good option in the winter. But then, if you have to have some kind of mixable rides, when on the hot days you have to carry all of this with you, and I don't want to do it anymore. I prefer to rely on like something like this sweatshirt underneath instead of this ExoTalk jacket. But it definitely helps, works, really works. The idea is good, works. Let me check the speed test, how it's going right now. Murat Ozer, I broke my ankle this summer, so I just got part of Rabbit Expedition boots. Try them this week, but I'm having hard time shifting gears. Does it get getting better? Okay. You'll get used to it, Murat. I'm glad that you bought this motorcycle boots. They are probably the best option that offers comfort and protection at the same time at the moment. Uh, you can adjust, I will advise to adjust your gear shift lever a little bit. You can lift it a little bit, just a few millimeters, to be able to put your feet under it easy, and you'll be all right. But you'll definitely get used to it. Shaolin DMV, what do you think about the Moto Guzzi bikes? Let me see. Yeah, definitely it's my internet connection tonight. Sorry guys, it's a little bit lower than usual. What do I think about Moto Guzzi bikes? It's a very extravagant way of traveling if you use this motorcycle for traveling. But my opinion about Italian bikes never been really good. They are never been famous with reliability. They definitely provide a lot of different features and wonderful design and stuff like that. But I don't think it's a good option for traveling because they are just too complicated. Tenere travel. To cut down the weight, I carry one pair of shoes, training shoe soles, sandals. Can you use the training shoe soles, sandals? They can be used worn anywhere. If you clean it, what whatever do you use? I have one very flexible shoes made from leather with very flexible soles, so I can twist and bend them like that. And they're very light. And this is the shoes that I use when I walk around. They are not pretty, they are very old, but because I know that they're comfortable, they are made from real leather. The insoles are also from real leather, they never stinks. So that's why I carry them. Sandals are good option, but when it gets a little bit chilly with the sandals, will be a little bit of weird on the road when you walk around in chilly days with sandals. That's why I prefer to have these leather shoes. As I said, not pretty, but work very well. And again, just to cut the weight, I don't need anything else. The best walking shoe will be probably something like a good Skechers trainers or trainings or like sport shoes, but they are too bulky. They are not heavy, but they are too bulky to have it in your luggage. That's why I prefer these light, very light shoes that I have. But it's good that you always try to cut the weight. Synthetic or merino wool for clothing. If you have the chance to buy a good quality merino wool, if you have the money to buy it, it will be definitely better. I don't really feel good with this merino wool, not really. Especially in the summer, it's too itching for me. If it's a good quality, it's gonna be all right. But during the hot days, I prefer to ride with cotton, not with synthetic. If I have to ride on the cold days, I prefer synthetic. Merino will be definitely better choice, no doubts about it, but they're just too expensive. One t-shirt merino, good quality merino t-shirt will cost like 50-60 euros. It's just too much, Richard. For 50-60 euros, I will buy 10 different t-shirts from synthetics, throw it away and buy another 10. This is what I think. But merino is definitely better. If I plan some kind of climbing, hiking trip on very cold areas, I'll prefer to have merino. On the Rebel 11, does the XRE have heated grips? If not, will you install Oxford heated grips? The model that I'm gonna ride that belongs to Thomas already have heated grips. What kind of heated grips? I don't know. The model that Plumman will ride, the motorcycle that Plumman will ride, hasn't got it, and I don't think that we're gonna install these heated grips. I will definitely enjoy mine when we went south on the way to Ushuaia. It will be cold over there, but I'm sure that we'll survive even without them. Trucks. When traveling on your own bike to Central Asia, will you say it's better to take some oil filters? Depends on the model, but you might not be able to find oil filter if you go to Central Asia with your motorcycle. Depends on the model. So they are not that big and not that heavy. That's why I will suggest to bring a oil filter with you, at least one with you, just in case you cannot find it. in big towns like in Azerbaijan, let's say Baku, then Uzbekistan in the capitals, you will definitely find these spare parts. But if you need to change the oil somewhere in the middle of nothing, it's good to have this spare with you, definitely. Now on my trip to Russia, I found on one small town, I found oil filter. So I bought it even though I did not need it at the moment, because I was knowing that on the later stage when I need it, I won't be able to find it. Then I found another one and bought it again even without need it. So this is a little tricky when you travel. Yeah, definitely bring a oil filter with you, especially if you have some exotic model that it's impossible to find air filters. And with the KTMs, usually they have two different filters with elements. Bring it with you. Richard, 98 or 95 octane fuel if you can choose. I am beginning to real problems occurring the lower fuel rating. I don't know, you will find octane rating on your next trips. I never used 98, Richard. I always fill with 95 if I have this chance. But I noticed something really strange now on my way to Russia. When I get to Yakutsk and further, the only possible petrol that I can find was 92 octanes. And believe it or not, the motorcycle was working better and was using less petrol than usual. I don't know what is the reason, maybe some kind of scientific reason behind it. So I don't mind to have 92 even. The quality of the petrol in South America never ever hurt people to complain so much. And the motorcycles are very basic, and they're made in South America. So I don't think that we're gonna have a problem with the petrol. Definitely no more than 95 for us. Shaolin DNV, what do you prefer for tube approximately 200 kilograms? Suzuki V-Strom 650, 800, Kawasaki Versys, Honda NC 750, Transalp 750, or Himalayan 4050, mostly asphalt, 20% of gravel road. Definitely go to Suzuki V-Strom 800, or Versys is also a good option. Versys is a powerful engine. Honda NC 750 might be a little weak for this. It has, I think, like 50 horsepower, maybe a little bit more. Transalp, I'll bet for V-Strom 800 for two people. Himalayan, definitely, I don't know. It will work for two people, but depends on that, how fast you would like to go and what kind of trips. If you plan a lot of highways, I will suggest to go to something like Suzuki 800 or Versys 650. V-Strom 650 is also fine, but the more power you have, the better. On the road 11, on the Rebel 11, will short updates be posted same days as we can leave your adventure with you? Yes, on my trip now to South America, I will definitely upload short updates every 2-3 days, maybe every day, depends on that, what I have filmed, do I have internet connection and stuff like that. There will be non-edited short updates, just a few minutes, as I said, almost every day. I will also post short videos on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of these things. So you will be able to track my routes and to have an update how everything is going. But of course, the long episodes I will do once I get back home and I have a lot of time. Oscar, new person here. I never seen it before. Never seen you before. I'm planning to ride CRF 250 rally through Africa. I'm beginner. Any one or two advice? Plenty of advices. Just enjoy your ride. CRF 250 is a perfect option for Africa. My channel is full with advices on any topic that you might have. If you have any specific question right now, just let me know and I will try to answer it. Shaolin, thank you. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Go ahead. Open discussion. Any question on the topic motorcycle travel, motorcycle trips, or any other question that you might have related to this. I am here, guys, because of you, and always keep in mind that the questions that you might have might help to many people that will watch the stream after that. So they might get a lot of benefits. Or if you want to add some information, you can do it as well. Thank you very much for coming tonight, spending this time with me. It's Sunday evening. I'm sure that you have so many things to do at home, but you're still here. Participate in this stream. Thank you very much. Neutral, is there any better way to travel than bike? I haven't found it. I haven't found either. You can travel with anything, include bicycles, walking, cars, planes, but the motorcycle travel is probably the best option because you have the chance to even smell the countries. When you fly with a plane, you don't really see the country. When you travel with a car, you're traveling in this comfortable temperature that you have in your car. But with the motorcycle, you feel everything. You feel every smell, every piece of gust. You feel every hole on the road, everything. So I think it's the best way of traveling. It's a motorcycle. So far, running, I don't think so. Running could be a good hobby, but also very exhausting. And I don't think that running will last much longer, especially on long term, because you will actually ruin your body every time when you run. Friend of mine used to say that if we have to run, we should be born horses. Good night, Richard. Thank you very much for coming. All the best for you, and I hope that next time we're gonna have more time to explain me about the Himalayan, how it's going. What are your impressions so far? Any problems or any new excitement that you might have? So I'll be glad to hear this next time. Thank you, Richard. All right, guys, go ahead. I will give you 10 more minutes before we end the stream. We're close to 1 hour. I don't want to waste your time so long. As I said, it's a Sunday evening. I'm sure that we have better things to do. So if you have any other questions, go ahead, shoot. Now is the moment. No questions. Julio Balmas. Uploads for the personalized question. Upgrade suspension on my F100 650 GS Dakar or buy your previous TNS 660. Dakar, it's a good motorcycle. It's an unreliable machine. TNS 660 is definitely a better option if you plan more to stay off the road. Dakar is as I said, reliable machine, but it's too low. There is no so much clearance, and I don't know. Oh, Dakar version. Oh, sorry, I get missed you. Dakar version. It was with 21 inch and 17 on the back. Yeah, this was the Dakar version. I don't know. Whatever you prefer. Even if you buy a TNS 660, you have to upgrade the suspension because the original suspension is not good. So either way, you have to upgrade the suspension, especially if you're a heavy guy. Shaolin DMV, do you plug in your bike battery over winter or just ride it all? I ride it all the time. I don't plug it in the winter. When I was living in Germany, the winters were a little bit tough. So I usually store the motorcycle for 2-3 months in the winter, and I plug the battery on the tickle charger all the time. But not here because I ride it all the time. Now when I left to South America, I'm gonna just disconnect the battery and leave it in the garage. And if necessary, when I come back, I will recharge it before I put it on the motorcycle. All right, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you very much to all of you for coming tonight and spending this time with me. Thank you very much for the good questions that you have. Group Anonymous, live in Southern California, ride all year round. Lucky you. The same here for now. We don't really have winters as before, but sometimes shit happens. So once again, thank you very much for coming, guys. Thank you very much for good questions. I hope that this stream will provide a lot of useful information to many young riders that plan to ride their motorcycles around the world. Next week, we're going to have the same stream, free to everyone, the same time, 8 o'clock. We might decide to have a different topic, or we'll stay on the same Q&A option, whatever you like. So I wish you all the best. Keep riding, keep smiling, and see you somewhere on the road. Ciao.